spiritualizing the heart. But this can't be done by just worshipping and by reading books. You need an authoritative person, a person with spiritual powers, spiritual energies, that can just peek inside your heart and enter the name of God inside your heart. And it's exactly what we're blessed with today. And His Holiness has travelled far and wide. He's headquartered in the United Kingdom. He's on an extensive tour of the USA, and with the thanks of Sister Azucena here and so many others. We've been to Mount Shasta, we've been to the Lama Foundation already, and we've had beautiful results there, and people have been so beautiful to us that we're so pleased that we're going to come here and share this message. We also herald the second coming of Lord Jesus Christ. We talk about the live Jesus Christ, how we can connect to Jesus through the heart. Jesus said that you must worship in a temple made by God, not made by your own hands. And that temple He was talking about was your heart, the spiritual heart. Not the physical heart, the spiritual heart. The spiritual heart must be reawakened. It must be clean with divine energy, divine light. And then we can connect ourselves to Jesus. I have a lot more that I can say about Jesus, or I'll say later. But for right now, we're going to concentrate on this Sufi path, about this heart enlightenment, heart engaging in zikr. They call it zikr, connection to God, connection to the light. So for me, that's enough just to say at the beginning, but I'm going to introduce now our Sufi master. He's come all the way from the United Kingdom, and please welcome to the stage His Holiness Younus AlGohar.
Good afternoon, everybody. I feel and ecstatic to be here with all of you today. We're sitting in the shrine of holy wisdom. That's really wonderful. And let's try and discover yet another shrine of wisdom within our own selves. Because we have been equipped divinely to hold and preserve an eternal shrine of wisdom. And each one of us has that potential. That shrine of wisdom that we carry in our own being is the spiritual heart. When the physical heart has been spiritualized, energized, awakened, enlightened, and the divine energies, the divine light has been restored in the heart, it turns into a shrine of holy wisdom. Only God is wise. When God is there, everything that has to do with God also arrives in that place. The heart becomes an eternal abode of God in the body, and you become an embodiment of divinity. In this day and age, where the science has been working miracles, and we're all reaping the benefits of these scientific technologies, I wonder how some people still do not believe in spiritual sciences. Sufism is a path of love. Sufism is path of revival. And it has nothing to do with any particular religion. Sufism is a way which starts within ourselves and culminates within ourselves. Sufism is for everybody, everyone. Those aspirants who want to find God, love God, and become a mouthpiece of God. It is so wonderful to see how many different types of tribes, nations have been created by God. In the very beginning, human beings were all one nation. And then with the passage of time, when different religions were introduced by God, we were sort of dispersed into many tribes, many nations. Some of the human beings who were able to differentiate between tribes and nations, and also they were able to know the purpose of these tribes and different nations. They took this difference as an identity. And those who did not have a spiritual authority and power and spiritual sciences, they misinterpreted it, misunderstood, and they generated hatred out of this difference. With the help of Sufism, we can once again find unification. Leaving behind the colors of our skin, and finally, initial purpose of God, which is to love and to be loved. God created man in His own image. God did not mention the skin color. Brown, black, white, they're all God's images, different images. But there is no color of the soul. There is no color of love. And this is what we want to understand. But the problem is, with all the religious books that we have in our hands today, in different places of worship, Muslim mosques, Christian churches, Jewish synagogues, Hindu and Sikh temples, in different places of worship, the knowledge we have in those books doesn't really spiritually guide us towards spiritual unification. It tells us that only you are right. A Hindu thinks only he is right. A Muslim thinks only he is right. Maybe a Jew will think maybe only he is right. But my master said, no. You are all right if you're connected with God. You're all right. Whoever you are, through whichever messenger or the prophet you get connected to God, it doesn't really matter. Because the religion is not the destiny. It's just a path. Your destiny and my destiny and everybody else's destiny is God and divine love. Spirituality, again, is so fascinating a word. But then, I don't think there is anything that hasn't been misinterpreted in this world. Love has been misunderstood, misinterpreted. Religions altered, adulterated, fabricated. And now even spirituality also hasn't succumbed to the wounds given to it by perpetrators within the religion. Let me remind you, spirituality is to do with spirits. Even in this holy chapel today, there are many angels, many spirits, some of which are ready to bless us and some others need to be blessed. But are we spiritual enough to witness their presence? No. Although we all have souls and spirits in our body, don't we? We have souls and spirits in our bodies. But what our souls and spirits are doing? Why our souls cannot see other souls in the same place? Why the spirits in our body are not able to see other spirits which are present at this moment in time? In the wilderness of ignorance, with a blindfold on our eyes, on our intellect, we tell ourselves to believe even what we cannot see. But then, when it comes to seeing the other souls and other spirits, which we believe are present, and we cannot see them, it only tells us that either our souls are dormant, they're not awakened, or we don't have enough spiritual knowledge. Because with spiritual knowledge, the souls and spirits become able to communicate with other souls and other spirits. A Sufi loves all religions, even those who do not believe in any religion. Because a Sufi sees all as one creation of God. Divinely, he is programmed not to discriminate among different creations of God. And as a Sufi, I have come here to share my knowledge, energies with you, and to render to you what I can, and also to take benefits of spirituality that you practice. It's like give and take. I'll take with me some of your energies and I'll give you some of my energies so that it become an infused spirituality. Obviously, you must know some Western kind of spirituality, and I come from the East, where we have our own brand of spirituality. Any type of spirituality is good as long as it is able to revive the souls, awaken the souls. Now, one guy asked me a question. Okay, if there is no spirituality, you shouldn't be able to communicate with other souls and other spirits in the spiritual realm. Why people who are not spiritual tend to hate all others? Shouldn't be simply that he doesn't know spirituality, that's all. But then again, why people who are not spiritual, why they hate others? That's a very good question. And the answer is even greater than the question. The problem is, only with the help of spirituality, we're able to revive the souls which are responsible for generating love in our body. And without spiritual knowledge, we cannot tame one particular negative soul in our body, if which is not tamed will produce hatred, and that is our lower self. So in order to make sure that the element of hatred and negativity is removed, eliminated from our character, we need to purgate and purify the only one soul which is responsible for all negativity, which is root of all evil, and that is our nafs. According to Jewish Kabbalah, that's the lower self, nafs. They call it nafs. That's here at the belly button, behind the belly button. Only with the help of spirituality, we tame it, we purify it, and when it is purified, peace is restored, and we don't hate anybody. In order to avoid hatred, we must be able to tame and to purify these negative souls in our body. And then, in order to learn to love human beings, unify with other human beings, and love God, we need to revive and awaken the soul of the heart. Now, revival of the soul of the heart is a mystery. There have been many different ways through which in history people have been reviving and awakening their hearts. There have been different ways. Sometimes an aspiring heart needs to follow a very strict discipline. After only a very strict discipline, he or she is able to awaken the heart. And some other times he or she is fortunate enough to find a spiritual master. And those who find a spiritual master, the spiritual master does it for them without them making any effort. This has been the course historically in spirituality from the East, Sufism. Today, we're very happy to tell you that our master, Lord Raria's Gohar Shahi, has delegated us to open your heart, to enlighten the heart, to awaken the heart, without you needing to make any effort. And this is to do with servitude. This is a labor of love in order to unify the entire humanity. We are serving humanity with this knowledge of spirituality and Sufism, so that we all are able to awaken our lost spiritual senses of the heart and the soul, and once again we are unified, and we only recognize love, and we all become wise. We will all become wise when the wisdom is restored in our hearts. Wisdom is not obtained by reading books. Whether the book has been written by a man or God, wisdom is only acquired when the heart becomes domicile of God, when the heart is connected with God through Jesus, through Moses, through Abraham, through Prophet Muhammad, anyone, the heart must be connected to God. Only then your heart will become a shrine of holy wisdom. Men and women, they are nothing but houses of God. We are houses of God, but we need to house God. You're a house of God, but when God enters your heart, it will become God's home. A building, a room, or a house without people is a house. But when you live there, it becomes home. When God is in your heart, you become home to God. And this is what we need today. Rather than discriminating and hating each other, we need to revive our God-gifted potential with which we can find God again, become holy again. Each one of you has this potential that you can house God in you. You can turn your heart into a divine temple. And when God is in your heart, God will not fall asleep in your heart. He'll become very active. And how does God become active when God is inside you? God will take control of your hands, with which you'll make use of your hands. God will take control of your eyes, and then God will peep through your eyes. You will look at people, but it's God who is looking at people through your eyes. God will take control of your tongue. On occasions, time will come when you will speak, but the words will not be from you. The words will come from God. You will become a mouthpiece of God. And the time will come with the help of spirituality where God will take control of your inner and your outer, and you'll become a complete embodiment of God on earth. That is the type of knowledge that we profess, and that is the type of knowledge that we are here to share with you. And I think I do not want to prolong my speech any further. I would welcome if there are any questions. I would be really happy to answer any questions that you have. And then subsequent to these questions, we'll have a session in which we have a Sufi song and also a heart activation in which Steve Bell and Sister Azucena are going to introduce to you the process through which the hearts can be activated. Now, if there are any questions, please do not feel hesitant. Feel free to ask. The questions are free.
Great to see you again.
Thank you so much. We met last night.
Yes. How do we identify the right timing for spiritual action? If our heart is guiding us for planetary liberation, for the integration of star knowledge, for the timing was not correct at some point. It was too accelerated, too fast. That is the question. The timing of a supernova on Earth of light.
Actually,
souls in our body. And this universe, this cosmos that we are living in, our planet Earth, and then our neighboring planets, all these planets, all these galaxies, Milky Ways, they all come under cosmos number 1. And then we have yet another universe. And then yet another universe. We have 7 universes. Now, most probably, the timing that you are seeking to know is to do with this particular universe that we are present right now with our bodies. That will come right when the soul responsible for reaching out to different planets of this universe becomes spiritually available. And that is our lower self. We need to purify our lower self. When the lower self is purified, now, after the purification of the lower self, it needs coordination with our mind, with our eyes, with our intellect. When it is well coordinated with all 5 senses, then you'll have the right time. This is where the timing becomes perfect. When the lower self is purified and it is coordinated with all other senses. I hope you get the answer. Go ahead. No, I'm talking to you.
There is a driver force when inviting spirit to reveal the secrets of magnetism and light and frequency and geometry and crystal energy, and the driver force inside of us becomes a challenge at points through knowing when to unfold those secrets as action, as technology, as solutions, where there's a great opposition to it. But I see that something's changed now.
you see, like
you were talking about in crystals, in all other objects, Even yesterday when I was talking, I talked about three souls, the mineral soul and the botanical soul and the animal soul. You know, all these crystals, you have more energy in your body, in your bones, than the crystals. But in order to have that driving energy, driving force, we need to enlighten these souls in our bodies in order to obtain expertise and mastery over crystals and all other objects and the driving force, which of course is moving all these energies around. We need to enlighten our mineral soul, which holds life in stones, mountains, crystals, all these things. And then botanical soul, which holds life in trees, and animal souls, which holds life in all the animals. We also have all these three souls. When we have expertise of all these three souls, then you're in the driving seat and you have expertise and mastery over the driving force of the world. Any more questions?
I think we should start heart activation, Brother Steve. Do we have any special ceremony today of the turban?
Yes, two.
We can do it now.
Okay, right.
सूफी ड्रेस वाले 7 बंदे आके इधर खड़े हो जाएं जब ये आए, जब ये आ जाएं.
Actually, what we're going to perform now is a ceremony. It's a very high order of Sufism, the honor of a Shaykh, which is why you can wear this turban. Physically you can wear it, but once this process is done, the energies are transferred by a spiritual master, then that becomes a spiritual turban that you wear. And it's a direct connection to God. And it allows you, once your heart has been initiated, it will allow you to initiate others' hearts as well. In the same process, you'll be able to share your energies and awaken others' hearts. So it's a beautiful honor to Fernando and Father George here. So if you'd like to please take a seat at the front.
So this is in America. There is a lot of people in spiritual paths, and they are very knowledgeable in many philosophical doctrines and religions. They have studied, some of them, comparative religions. They have been in many different religious or spiritual organizations, And we really appreciate all these efforts that people have done to search spirituality and enlightenment. Those Americans who are knowledgeable, and when you say and mention the word Sufism, immediately they identify Sufism as one of the most highest and one of the most advanced and pure forms of spirituality. They have high respect for it. And usually these are the type of followers that we have. Nonetheless, we still have some new souls that are still now just in beginning a new path of enlightenment and searching. But we, as I mentioned, transfer and share this organization with people. They, their response immediately is, like yesterday, for example, one of the guests, he said, I can't believe I actually got to meet a Sufi master. Can you believe a Sufi master? I saw one in person. I hugged him. I gave him a hug. That's how excited he was that he had met you. And we had a wonderful response, a wonderful feedback from all our guests last night.
Wow.
So today, I know Fernando that he has a very extensive spiritual path. He has been searching for ever since he was a child, since he was 8 years old. He has traveled to many places in the world. He's already a master himself. And we really honor that, and that's why we want to recognize you and give you this honor as recognition. And Padre Jorge, Father George, I have no words to express also who you are at a spiritual level. I can say that intuitively I know your heart, I know your soul, and I recognize you as one of us. And welcome to the Sufi order.
Wow.
So we can start now? So we proceed with the music, background music, and the appointment of Shaykh.
Music, no.
Ceremony will also transform you, and it will rise you to a higher level of spirituality and awareness and enlightenment, farther than what you are now.
purpose of this circle is to present all these people in the other spiritual realm. Wow. So all the new people, not our people, they will hold hands with me. Wow. But still. Wow. Sorry. Please close your eyes. In order to unify our hearts and our souls, Lord, we're here in front of you, and we want to awaken our heart, awaken our soul, and request Thee to enter in our hearts and in our souls. ALRA, ALRA. ALRA, 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 ALRA. Silence. Now, we will take the name of the Lord Ra. This name and the energy is the force that keeps the sun light up. This, the sign of sun divinity, we will receive activation through the source of the sun, the sign of divinity on the sun. Please engage. Ra, 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 now we will take blessings from the presence of divinity on the moon. Please repeat after me. Ma, 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 ma. And we will now join them together for the perfect spiritual divine presence in our hearts and our souls. Rama, 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 Rama. Visualize on your right is the moon, on the left is the sun. And repeat after me. Al-Ra, 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 Please, Lord, accept all these souls in your love, in unification, in the name of humanity and the love that you have created humanity for. Grant our hearts a spiritual bond with Thee spiritual unification. Amen. Thank you so much. For spiritual healing, people can come to Steve and Azucena. For spiritual healing.
Thank you so much, Your Holiness.
It was wonderful. How did you feel? Very energetic.
Confirm.
Of course, there's chants you can, every evening before you sleep now for the next 3 nights, you can do this chant, Yeshua, Yeshua, Yeshua. Now, it's not just coming from the tongue, this is beating in your heart. This name will now beat with your physical and spiritual heart. Yeshua, Yeshua, and it will start to produce more and more divine energy, more and more divine light. This has said it will reawaken all the souls, reawaken the heart, spiritualize. It becomes a lifestyle. Your life is spiritualized through this technique. Would you like it? Just close your eyes, concentrate on your heart. Repeat the mantra. Yeshua. Yeshua.
Thank you everybody for joining us on ALRA TV. We're here gathered in Phoenix, Arizona. We're just enjoying our ring of love at the moment. It's a great feeling, immense energy, and I hope you guys are enjoying it too. And we would wish you guys to continue watching us on ALRA TV. Thank you very much. God bless.